Good evening and welcome to the class today. We are looking at CyberLink PowerDirector. It's one of many other softwares that are available for your use, and we are about to take a quick one on it. So I'm pulling up the interface. When you get it online, you can just go online and look for PowerDirector or make it CyberLink PowerDirector. Okay, Cyber CYBER, CyberLink PowerDirector. You look for that and then you just install it. It has multiple if you like options. You have the free service, and then we have the professional, the paid services that you can look up. And so when you install it and then you have the interface on your PC, laptop, whatever, this is actually how it's going to look. This is the interface. This is where the operation happens. This is the surgery room where everything is going to be dissected, and whatever is wrong, the diseases, you take it out of your video, and then the healthy ones you replace it until you realize that the video you really want to make is healthy enough for consumption, and then you take it out. Now when you open up the interface, what you're going to see is what I'm going to have to show you right now. Okay, the first thing you see is the CyberLink program itself, in terms of the logo and all of that. But then right next to it is a file. The file is where you have your new project, which is what we are working on. So if you're starting up for the first time, you want to click the new project, and then the next thing you have is your new workspace. Basically the differences aren't that much. It's the same place you're working, except that it's a broader area. This is your project. Project is where you save everything you've done, different projects you've done, different names you've given it. They are all saved in there. Your recent ones are well arranged and organized for you. And then of course where you save every single project on your PC, on your system, wherever, that option also exists for you. And what format you want to save in. You can save it as H.262. You can save it in any other format you want, 1080p, all of that. You can save it as a TikTok video in TikTok, in formats that work with TikTok, whatever format you want. You can always have a way of making that possible. Then you have the pack project materials that you would see later on in the system. If you want to bring in videos into the system, you come to import, and that's where you have the opportunity to bring in files. If you have a couple of videos that are already in one folder and you don't want to be bringing in single files one after the other to work with, then what you want to do is put all the various videos in a folder, and depending on where it is on your PC, you click folder and then you go into that particular place on your system and you go get it. But if it's a single one that you want to bring in, then you just click file, you come to import and pick that particular file. Let's say if it's this one, then that's what you pick and bring it in, and that's how it works with import. Then you can insert a project. In other words, you're working on a particular job and you want to bring in another project where you've also done some work, so that you can have a way of blending them. You also have the opportunity with CyberLink Director to do that. The capture is where you bring in videos, okay, from a live video, something that's happening live, and you feel you want to bring it in directly into the timeline without having to record it on the device and then later on import it into the system. You're free to do that. Then of course you have your edit sections, okay, and that's where we are, where you do your edits and all of those things that you want to input, delete, and all that. That option is available. When you're done with your work, what you do is want to get it out of the timeline, which is basically out of CyberLink, and so you export it into a format that you believe will work for you. And so that format that you think is going to work for you is the format that you choose, and then you click export, and then the system or the video gets out of here to where you want it to go. If you also want to create a disk so that you can play it on a laptop or on any other system, the next option here makes that possible. If you want to also record out multiple videos or multiple projects, you can actually line them up and do a batch export of the various jobs that you have done. Over here we haven't actually touched the job that will activate it, and so it's basically lying down, but you can export projects to audio, using the director, and then you can also export projects to color, director. Okay, basically the same software, but you can export, giving it a little bit of a color twist. Now we also have your project properties, where you can set the way you want the system to work for you based on the project you're working on. So that's where you do your setting. You see some of them as you get along, and you can over here help the software developers upgrade or give them some info on how their system works, and with your opinion, your perceptions on them, you can rate them to give them a lot more support. You're free to do that also over here. You can also get PowerDirector on your laptops, on your mobile. You can get it on your tablet. You can basically get that, and then you exit the system when you're done working. The minute I click exit, the system will just go, the interface will vanish because I'm just getting out of it. So that's the what you get under the file system. When you come to edit, that's where you have your do, undo, redo tabs. So if we had a video in here and we make a mistake, or we decide that okay, I shouldn't have done this, I would rather do that, you come to undo over here. It's not highlighted because there's no video in the timeline, but we'll bring in a video in the timeline, and this is how you cut off or get rid of a video you have. You can copy and paste. You copy first, and then you click the timeline, and then you paste the video, and that's more like making two of the same thing on your timeline because of the effects you want to create or the purpose you want to use it for. So you can edit your items and then select everything that you have in your library into the timeline. For example, over here we look at aspect ratios. Aspect ratios are the frame formats that are available for export. If you want to use that too, of course you can. There's all of these options you choose for yourself, and all of this is dependent on where you're taking the project and what you want to use it for. Over here you can also customize, okay, by choosing what you're used to, or you can also bring in the kind that you think you prefer that is not within the system. And preferences is also about setting up the interface the way you believe will work much better for you. You can move this here, you can move that here, you can move all of this preview section down here, you can bring them down here, you can take them anywhere you want. It's all really up to you. And then you have your plugin. Plugins are basically it's settings, okay, that you can add to the software that you're using right now. If it's Cyberlink PowerDirector, you can bring in plugins from online and then come and add it to this system so that it gives your job a better look. For example, I'm going to have to click the multicom designer, and when I did that, I entered into it. You can see over here I can import from my hard drive, I can import from media room, okay, and it gives me these four, what do I call it, view sections. You have the audio, and then you have the video, you have the video, and you have the audio. The top is always the video, because that's the setting I gave it. That's why preferences gives you the opportunity to change the interface and make it look the way you want it to look. So over here you can do your video analysis. Over here you can import your video and your audio, and then you can synchronize all of them also over here. The system helps you do that. When you are done, you apply, okay, and you need to do a lot of trials. Like I keep saying, we don't have so much time for me to go into details because there's quite a lot I need to introduce you to. So I would run and continue from here. Then of course, if you want to watch what you're doing, over here we have the view where we work in the timeline and we see what you're doing in the preview section. You can also create a storyboard, and all you need to do is click the storyboard mode, and that opens up for you. We have a library preview window, and those are the ones you see here. All of these are library preview windows. And we also can see the timeline here. So if we import a video, you can see them. You can zoom in and zoom out of the picture to perhaps look for faults or anything you think you want to make adjustments to. The option is always available to you. From there, let's go to playback. Okay, you can put it in playback mode, clip mode, or video mode, depending on how you want it to work for you when you're editing. You can adjust the system volume. You can mute and unmute. I'll show you where the audios are on this system too. Now, beyond that, if you haven't given your project a name, you can do that here. But when you're done editing, this is where, on top of it, highlighted export, this is where you export the project. So if I click it, you see that the interface changes and it gives me content, what it is I'm doing, and how I want it, preference. I choose how I want it to go. If you are doing a 2D disk creation, you have the opportunity to do that, and then 3D disk creation. And over here you have your codes that you want to set the system to. So the DVD, you can decide what you want to do with it, whether you want a widescreen or something, 4:3, aspect ratios. You have the chance to do all of that, and this is where you see what you're doing. And you can even create pages, okay, for your disk when you're exporting them out of the system, so that it goes to do what you want it to do. Let's go back to the board. So if you give your project a name, the name will show up here. Over here is new and untitled, and then over here you can actually help yourself by upgrading the system to a much higher version. And always the higher versions comes with new opportunities and a lot more plugins, a lot more things you can do. Over here, if you want to create an account with Cyberlink PowerDirector, you click it, and then over here you put in your email, your password, you sign in. You can use Google, and all of those options available to be properly registered, with Cyberlink. Over here, you can also check for updates of the system, and here you can also set your preferences as you prefer. Okay, when you click that, that gives you a shortcut to your preferences. Over here, this is part of the new version, which is the professional version. So you come up here if you want to update, into a much better, or what do I call it, a more elastic, plugins, editing opportunities, and all that. You update, you register, you make payments, and then they give you all the latest plugins in the system, so that you can do such a good job. If you don't understand something and you need some extra help, you come to the question mark here, click that, and then it opens up to show you all the things you want, all the answers you're looking for. You get it from here, and of course you have to be online. It helps and makes it so much easier and better, for you. You can minimize the screen, and you can also just keep it big this way. This just cancels the entire effort. Now over here is where we have our library. Okay, so this is where we store all the things that templates that have been built into the system by the software creators, and this is where you have your content of whatever it is that's here. Okay, so these are the tools that you're going to be working with, and over here anything you click from here shows up here, and you can also see them here. Over here you can see sound effects, so that means that you actually have the opportunity to add effects to your sound, and you can even get background music and color bars and all that. I'll run you through them. Now here is our preview window. I explained that when we're doing Adobe Premiere. So then you have to watch what you're doing, make sure that it's exactly what you want to export to the viewers or the people that you are preparing the video for. So this is where you watch everything you do to make sure that it's actually what you're expecting to get before you get them out of your system. And this area is the operation table. Here is the operation table. So all of this is a theater, figuratively all of this is a theater, and this is where the magic happens. Right here, that's where the magic happens. And over here, the first thing you see over here, the highlighted sign over here is a video sign. Okay, so this is the video. If you want to see the things you're working on, you don't want to see them, you can lock them. Now it looks cancelled, unhighlighted. That means it's locked. Okay, so you can't see what you're doing, and this is where you can lock it up. When I click lock, you saw the change over here. I'm doing it again. Okay, so I have unlocked it, but when I lock it, it disables any functioning of this particular timeline so that nobody can mess up with your work. And so it's number 3 here because this is the video and this is the audio of the video that you import. And this is number two because this is the second video timeline and the second video audio line. Okay, so you can be mixing 2, 3, 4, 5 videos, as many as you want. Okay, over here when you click this, you see the entire video. When you click this, you click the entire video from the beginning of it to the end, instead of it going beyond here so that you don't see the rest. When you click this, the system mashes them together and you see the beginning and the end. Here, if you think that you don't have enough audio and video lines or video and audio lines, there are only 3 and 2, which is just 2 here, and you want to add some more, you come here, click that. When you click it, it gives you a track manager, so that manages the timeline tracks, and you can add one, okay, to it. You can below, that's 4, you can add another audio track line to it, or you can just add audio and not add a video track line. You can add a video and not add an additional audio track line. The options are always available to you, and you can do any and everything that you want, you know, with the system. That's why, for example, it gives you the opportunity to use the preferences, which is to say that you can decide how your interface works. You can decide what you need and what you don't need. Now let me come to titles. Okay, when I come to titles here and I clicked it like I just did right now, over here in the library you can see the various titles that are available, you know, for you, something like this. And when I click it, you see it in the preview before you even bring anything in the timeline. So this is how they look like, my 3D. So anything you want the titles to come down here, you can do that. And all these motion, you know, transitions of this title, add your title transition here. All you have to do is just click the video or double click and you add it to your video, and that's how they work. So you have so many of them. It comes all the way from here. Okay, you click this and you see this other option. See how it comes? In fact, you can use this to actually put up somebody's name and then a title. So let's say Mr. Kobina, Director, Ghana Water Company. You know, you can use the name here and then put a title here. You can make this bigger and you can reduce the size of this. The options are always available and they have names. So this goes for backdrop 03, you know, backdrop 02. So like I told you, or just like I taught you in Adobe Premiere, you have to try and know the names of all of these softwares so that when you're working with them, you know what exactly you're looking for at any particular point in time when you do need them. Very, 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 very important. Okay, and these are some of the new things that you can find in the system. Okay, new software opportunities that are available for you. You have the Japanese style. Then you have the what do I call it, the latest ones also, of course. All these are Japanese styles, but they are the latest ones, options that are available for you to use. When you click it, it was taking me online and I can just pull them in. Okay, when I double clicked it, that's what happens. So it takes you online. You can go and look for some of these things and I can see this in Japanese. Okay, so it tells you how broad the system is now. And these are the popular options. You can see popular, you know, 20. There are 20 popular options that people would usually use. If you want to settle for some of these, then you also click it. You see here, you have this is how it works. Okay, you have a YouTube username and all that, but you can change all of these, put your name in there, and then use it as you like. The options are always available for you. This is another one I just clicked, and it's coming up like this. So if you want a title to show up on your screen like this, so this is also one of the reasons why I'm saying that it's always good for you to have multiple. There are some design graphics in Adobe Premiere that I didn't have the time to teach you. Is at the far right section of Adobe Premiere. These are already template designs. They are motion also that have been done in Adobe Premiere that I could have taught you, but the time did not allow me. Okay, so there are a lot more in Adobe Premiere, which is why again you have to have time for it. So over here you have others. So like I said before, you can always work with different editing softwares, and it gives you the opportunity to make your work different. Once in a minute somebody thinks you use PowerDirector, the next time they're like, okay, PowerDirector doesn't do this, this is Adobe Premiere. And so we software kind of combines all of these, and they will not really be able to tell, but that's one of the things that can make your work unique. Then there are also specially designed social media text, you know, opportunities available, like the ones that I've already shown you. There are others, 27 of them. This is one of them. Okay, over here you can see social media 27. And so these are some of the options that are available, and you can always click them and then use them, download them. That's why you see this sign here. Okay, you download them. So it's always, this one is downloading. It's 100% now, so you see it here. Okay, search. So if you're creating something and you need to use some of these to show that you are searching for something, instead of finding an animation software to animate all of these have already been provided more like templates, and they are transparent. Okay, all of these are like, if it were a picture, I would say a PNG format. In fact, even video, you can have PNG, what do I call it? In other words, transparent videos with, chroma key kind of background. I'm just using the word PNG for it. Okay, but yes, that's what it does. Then, of course, you have the lower thirds, which are titles that you give to people when they are talking, or even a theme. So sometimes I actually turn lower thirds into titles, depending on how the feel, looks for me. I can twist, turn it, change a few things here. And before you know, it's become a title, which originally is not what it is in the system. And so really the length and breadth of your imagination is what makes your work stand out from any other person using the same software. Okay, this is downloading, it's 100%. Let's see what it shows us in the preview window. Okay, so that's it. This is another form of title. Okay, another design comes with some form of animation. And so you always click them to download them, and then you can use them. And there are also subtitles. There are 16 different subtitles here. Let me download this one, number 2. It's 100% is downloaded. Let's see. Just quickly realized that a vexing foe was born with a zeal and a mellow disposition. Okay, so subtitles. So like somebody's talking, and then you have all these subtitles come up. So you can use this as a set, subtitle for a conversation or anything going on. Somebody speaking French and you want to be able to translate it, and now AI helps a lot in translations and stuff like that. So you want to translate that, you just pick the French and then translate it into English and drop it here. You want to pick the English, translate it into the French and drop it here. And that's how that works for you. We have 152 YouTube designs here for you to use. Then we have callouts. Okay, we have callouts also that are available, for you to use. It's downloading. It's 100%. Okay, you add your title here, and that's it. You just bring it into the timeline, double click, and you are done. Or you can even edit right here. Okay. Then we have time. You see, you realize that all of these things here have been given special names. The names actually show what they do. So if you're looking for something that has to do with time, you're looking for a transition, a title that has to do with time, you know where to go. So you come here, you click this, and then I can see. So time, because it works with time as in time, it's 10 o'clock, and then of course it has it has a calendar to it that you can use. So all these ones are specially designed, and they come with themes. If you're doing something that has to do with love, your topic has to do with love, then you look for themes, presets that have something to do with love, and those are the ones you use. So I'm picking up a love title, number 4. It's just finished downloading. Happy Valentine's Day. So you are looking for stylized. So really all these things here are various things you can do, and it goes all the way down to general, and then motion captures and speech bubbles, all. So you just find time and go through all of them. You're not going to have a part 2 of this. I'm putting it all together as one lesson, so it's pretty compact. Okay, the next thing on the title that I'm looking at over here is what you're seeing in the timeline. These are transitions. Okay, so how, for example, one video comes and goes, and that is a blur in, blur out. Okay, and then we have the box, box in, box out. One video comes, one video goes. That's how it goes. That's how these things work, and there are a number of them over here, and all these things come with new options here as is stated, and then of course popular ones too. So we have all of these available for you to use. Let's go to the next one, FX. Now these are various textures in terms of color and feel that you can put to your job, or rather put on your job. So you edit something in the timeline and you want it to have a certain look, a certain cinematic feel. You can, for example, pick this one. Okay, and this is how your pictures will look. Having edited, You see, traditionally you edit a video in a raw footage and then you finally export the job, if you are using Adobe Premiere, into After Effects, and then that is where you can change. After Effect means after editing, that's when you add the effect. So After Effects, that's what it means in Adobe Premiere. Okay, so you want your video having finished editing, and you want it to give it a certain texture. You want it to look like this. This is what you choose. You want it to look like that. What I just click 100% now. Okay, so that's what you choose. So these things are already done for you. Lovely work by PowerDirector Cyber, and it cuts short the running arounds with After Effects and all the things you have to learn in Adobe Premiere After Effects. And so if you're the beginner and you don't know how to use After Effects so much, these are some of the plugins that can help you to fasten your job and make it look different. This is another option. Oh, we chose this. We chose the Autumn Vibes. This is another Autumn Vibe, but this is Autumn Vibe 12. Okay, and then this one I just saw another. I was about to click and it just found its way out. Let me see if another pops up. Okay, so this also has another film. It's popping up soon. It's 60-75%, 90-100%, and that's it. Okay, so you can give them gray effects, you can give them blue effects, you can give them green effects, you can give them whatever effects you want. Your videos can always look different. Okay, so having gotten through FX, let's go to, and you see FX is just effect room. You can see here the effect room. Okay, so that's where you come and add all those things, and there are presets. Actually, you can blend effects, you can add just body effect. There are 52 of them. They are downloaded, 7 pieces of them. So the contents for each one of the title things I'm giving you, each of one of the title, this one counts with this special content. Okay, 635, a whole lot here. When you click the transition, it also comes to its set. When you come to FX, it changes. It comes to, so all of them have their own numbers that are available for you to use. This has basically almost the same as Now these are more like PNG templates that have been made, motion. Okay, templates for you to use, like this energy sticker 31. It's downloading. Let's let it finish. We show here. Okay, so that's it. Okay, so it's an effect. Okay, you can use titles to bring this in. For example, you can bring a title high, and this effect brings the high, or it's a movie title, it's a TV series. Depending on your creative senses and what you're looking at, you can use all of these to bring them in. Effects to bring titles into the video, and they make your job look different. They make your job look beautiful. Okay, these are various types. Okay, that you can use to show under the effect. Under the video overlay. So you overlay these. It's like picture in picture. You are putting one effect on the other, and that's what it is. If I highlight it, you can see video overlay, PIP objects. Roof F5. And so these are various things you can put on a picture. In other words, they're transparent, and so you can actually see both of them at the same time. So I'm moving on to the next thing, and this is what we have here. This is like stars that are coming out from heavens on you, a bit like what you have in America's Got Talent. AGT, America's Got Talent, yes, where when you win a bazaar, okay, you have all these stars coming out from the heavens on you. So this is also transparent, so you can if you're doing a music video and there's a love scene and you need to use start to show some colors and change a few things here and there, you are in a flowery field, and you want to add these things to blend them in nicely. Your picture is looking good, lovely scenery, all of those things, and you think that this one blends into it nicely. Of course, you can use it. Let me download this one too and see what they do. So these are like snow. It's raining. So you can see the title here, light snow. And so it's snow, but it's not heavy, it's light. And so sometimes in movies you actually see effects of snow on the film. Sometimes it's not. Sometimes, in fact, we have a snow making machine. Okay, snow making machine that is used in movies and stuff like that. But sometimes it's not all the time that they use it. Sometimes they use things like this. Okay, producers, directors, we use things like this to still communicate, and it's cheaper depending on your mathematical calculation of the depth of your background and how it's going to look both behind and in front of the person. And so, for example, if you want to use this snow and you're looking at a wide angle field, you ought to be able to have this kind, more like you can use cotton and make cotton look like snow scattered all over a place, and then you have the person in an overcoat with the bits and pieces of snow like objects on the person's coat, while you have all of these things also falling behind and in front of the person. It blends nicely and you would think it's actually snowing when it is not. Then we have the actual snow making machine that is used for movies, and then that one you actually can make it all over an area, particularly where you're going to do a shoot, and let it fall on the person and around the person, and that also has its real impact too. So there are multiple things that are here that you can use, and it will still give you what you're looking for at the end of the day. So the whole thing is the elastic stretch of your imagination. If your imagination is pretty good, then you can create a whole lot of stuff. For example, over here you're looking at dust. Okay, if you are shooting in a desert and you want to create a situation where the wind is blowing dust all over everyone over there, this is one of the softwares you can, or this is one of the templates, okay, motion that you can pick, sand guts, okay, and use. It's not okay, it started uploading. It wasn't downloading before, but it is now. And so you see, you can widen. In fact, this one you can pick the bracket, widen it up, and make the person, and blow air on the person from the same direction the dust is coming from, and make it look like the person's light outfit is being blown away and the person is digging him or herself through the dust and through the wind. When you do something like that in a desert place where you have these huge fans blowing air against the person's silky light outfit, and you have the snow effect also coming, you have the dust effect also coming, it really looks like there's an attack in the desert, a natural, what I call it, phenomenon, okay, in the desert, and the person is trying to just dig through to wherever the person is going. It's a nice effect you can use in a movie, in an advert, depending on what the communication is. So we are going to the next one, and over here we are talking about audio. Okay, so this is where you see your audio lines: audio 1, audio 2, audio 3, audio 4. So when you're playing your video, the audio signals show here, and that allows you to see which volume is higher than the other, which one should be low, which one should be high. And if they are all of them, you see the red, the yellow, and the green linings, is because when it hits the red, your sound is blasting, so it's not good. When it hits yellow, it's still not too good. And so you always want to make sure that your audio doesn't go beyond the green line. Yellow means get ready to hit the bad road, and then red means you're actually on the bad road, okay, and then green means you're pretty safe, just like the street traffic light, okay. And then we have another option here for audio, so that's it. I'm talking, you can see the audio lines, showing, so you can control. In fact, you can actually do a recording, okay. If you're shooting a documentary and you are using good speakers, all the recordings I'm doing for you, I'm on location, so I'm not using a microphone. I'm not using a studio microphone. I'm not using a location microphone, because the kind of mics you have here are for different kinds of projects. But I'm just using my laptop and trying to, get you this voice. But if I really want to do a good documentary and a good voiceover, I'll just get into a booth or create a booth, because we always create booths on location, and you can create booths and do that. But I'm working between time, and so I'm doing a quick one for you. And so basically, you can come here, do a good voice, edit it, and add it to your video. When you talk, it goes all the way up. When it's too loud, then it hits the red button and it's like, hey, you see, it went to the yellow side. Hey, that was too much. Okay, so you just have to find a way to make sure you're ahead, but at the same time, your sound is not blasting. These are not highlighted because they are in the pro, programs or the pro sections, and so they are not available for us to use, right now. So I'm going back to where we were. Okay, let's try and see if we can get into the editing piece. Okay, so these are videos that are already in the library. that you can work on. These are some of the templates that we are talking about. You want to start a video, this is the countdown, for example. I just clicked the top. Okay, this one I didn't touch. I just started with title, so I'm not coming here to do it. This very one, the video options. Okay, so these are video options that are available for you. You just click this and you can do your countdown to the time the video actually starts. So I'm playing it from here. So if you're doing a video on for somebody on birthday or something like this, you can use this. Even you can use this one. Even if it's not birthday and it's a certain celebration of a sort, you can always turn these videos around. You can always take out, okay, the title. Find birthday video for a friend. Okay, all these are, you know, birthday videos. Then there are the countdown. You see over here, you see the birthday videos. There are 107 of them. Countdown, there are 103 different countdowns. Wedding, there are 65 of them. Graduation, there are 24, you know, of them. And so the options are good, very, very good. You know, if you're doing a really, really good job having all of these things at your disposal, your creative senses, you know, on there's a word I want to use, is not coming, you know, but let's say that on point, you know, that's what comes up immediately. So your creative senses on point, there's so much you can do. There's so much you can do with all of these. There's even graduation, 24 different graduation templates, visuals, you know, available for you, and all these are video templates created for your use. Okay, and you can run them. There are beauty ones also. That's about 513 different options for beauty videos that you can employ. Let me pick this one. This one has to do with, let me see, let me scroll it down. The system is downloading, so, and the internet is showing its strength. And so let me wait until it's done. Okay, it's done now. And so that's what should be able to come up soon. I want to see them activated here. I want to pick one of these. I just want to pick one of these. Let's see. I wanted to download ASAP. Listen, it's wasting our time. We already don't have too much time. But basically, that's it. We have beauty, we have black and white pictures, we have business, 543 of them. We have designs, okay, 559 of them. We have education, 571 of them. The list is endless. Food, fashion, events, education, handwritten, gaming, health, holiday, life, love. Okay, and all of them a good number. Okay, so you can, but what I would advise you to do is, because the whole world have access to the same thing, pick a piece of this and a piece of that, a piece of this and a piece of that, a piece of this and a piece of that, and blend them in and make it look like it's a different thing altogether. Don't pick just one and use it. Otherwise, another person, before you know, you've done a video on YouTube or somewhere else, another person is using exactly the same thing. What makes your job stand out? What makes your job unique? That becomes a challenge, you know. So you don't want to do that. You want to make sure that you do these things separately. You know, pick one, add a little bit of effect here and there, and make your job really, really stand out. So if you go through all of this and haven't gone through all of this, you will realize that there's a lot you can do. Okay, so let's see if we can import a video. And this is how you import a video. You come to video, you come to files, you come to file, you come to import, and then desktop, and I'll pick the same thing we did yesterday. One of the videos that yesterday we used. I'm coming. Let me try and get them here. The internet is really slow right now. Let me do it again. Okay, and the video is refusing to show. It's not moving. The internet is pretty slow, pretty slow, pretty slow. I'm using an online version, and so it's pretty slow. So slow. Let me try again.